Hello and welcome to the official Haters Euro 2024 Daily Show. I'm your host, Aaron Goldstein. I am joined today by Nathan Edwards and Freddie Walker as we look back over last night's action and ahead to all the action coming up today. A quick reminder, we're live every day throughout the tournament at 1 o'clock, bringing you exclusive training clips, interviews and reports live from the ground in Germany. Let's go straight in with a review from last night. Jerry Cox was live in Gelsenkirchen.
Gelsenkirchen, just been watching England beat Serbia 1-0. It was Jude Bellingham's goal in the 13th minute that made all the difference. Fantastic strike from the Real Madrid man, still only 20 years old. Incredible when you think about it. Another 2 weeks before he turns 21. He gave a man of the match performance, quite naturally, won that award. But the last sort of half an hour was a bit nervy for England. There were a few chances. Serbia came back quite strongly, and England didn't look completely convincing going forward. A bit rocky at the back, but they got the clean sheet. That's the most important thing. Won their opening game, as they often do, and are off and running. We spoke to a few of the players afterwards, Declan Rice, Kieran Trippier, Jared Bowen. They all made the same point. It's all about getting off to a winning start. However you do it, it may not be the most convincing. Some of these players need minutes in their legs. Kieran Trippier said he hadn't played a full 90 minutes for 4 months. Harry Kane hasn't played a lot of football in the last month or so. So they just needed to get back into the game. But what they all agreed on is Jude Bellingham is absolute superstar. The kid is 20. He's not 21 for another 2 weeks, but my word, what a player England have got. And if they can keep him going on this sort of form, well, road to the finals behind me there, and they could be lifting this, not the cushion, the trophy.
Well, I hope we've got more than a cushion to come for the England national team. A reminder that get your comments in and please do vote on the poll about Phil Foden. We'll get back to that a little bit later. But Nathan and Freddie, England last night, what were your opinions?
Well, I think they got the job done, didn't they? It was not an inspiring performance. I think that's the best way to put it. But
understatement.
Yeah, a 1-0 win. They kept the clean sheet. They got the 3 points. And it's only the second time in 10 attempts that England have won their opening game at the European Championships. Only other time was last Euros at Wembley. So it's actually the first time in 10 attempts they've done it overseas. So England have a history of not winning that first game. So to get that done is a good thing. But yeah, it wasn't a good performance that filled you with confidence that they can go all the way and win it like Spain and Germany did, where they made a real statement.
And Nathan, what do you think? It was all about Jude Bellingham, wasn't it? Last
yeah, exactly.
Night?
It wasn't a classic, but he shone, especially for the first 45 minutes. You know, he was on the ball. He was really good. He was creative and he linked up well. But then also the desire to beat his marker to get the goal just shows why he's so hyped and why everyone just can't stop talking about him.
Literally, it's not just us that's singing his praises. As Jerry said, that we were live with Declan Rice and Jared Bowen after the game in the mix zone.
Look, I don't need to talk about how good he is. I think you see him in Madrid every week. You've seen it again tonight, the match winner. I feel like he's a player that, you know, when I'm holding, I've just got to let him flourish and do his thing. Let him feel like he's, you know, got the confidence of the pitch to go out there and do whatever he wants. And, you know, the more we play together, I feel like the connection and bond we've got is really, really good. And obviously with Trent tonight, who I thought was played really well. First time properly playing like a CDM role. So no, it's a really good trio. And like you said, with Jude, he's just, yeah, he's another level, isn't he? That's all I can say, really.
To be asked of him, he always delivers the goods, and again tonight with the ball, a calmness and a maturity off the ball, won the ball back so many times, and obviously in the right place at the right time, and took the header really well. And I just felt sorry for their fullback because he was coming in, you know, full steam ahead, and the fullback stood no chance when he was coming in at that pace. But again, it's the anticipation, being in the right place at the right time, and you know, again the difference maker. So you know, to have him on your team is, you know, never a bad thing.
We're all in agreement, though, that Jude was man of the match last night. No, that's not a controversial statement. But when Jude grabs all the plaudits, you sort of forget the other players. And the first person we just heard from, I love him, Declan Rice.
What a player, what a man. I think his performance actually last night was very underrated. He had 9 ball recoveries, according to SofaScore, 2 interceptions, 2 tackles. And he really dominated that midfield, cleaning up a lot of balls and just did his holding role very well. Nothing exceptional, but he just put in a very, very solid, good performance. And yeah, I was very impressed with him last night.
What do you think of Declan Rice? You probably don't see as much of him as we do as Arsenal fans, seeing every single week pulling out at least a 7 out of 10. How important is it to have those consistent performers in your team?
Yeah, I think it's massive, obviously, and obviously in the position he's in as kind of the sitter, or the most defensive player in the midfield. It's with all the stars we have, we do need someone to help protect the defense and link it all together, and he can do that, and he does it consistently. So he will be a vital, maybe unsung part of England to do well.
Well, another thing is Declan Rice. All of these clips go up on the Haters YouTube channel, and Declan Rice touched upon how good Trent was yesterday. What did you think? He's not a natural centre midfielder. He plays at right back, drifts in a lot in the Premier League for Liverpool. That midfield three, did it work?
Not for me. Trent didn't impress me in that midfield three. We spoke yesterday actually about, in theory, Trent in that midfield role should be nice, but we need to see it in practice. And in practice, I didn't love it. He lost the ball quite a few times, tried a few too many things on the ball, got caught in possession, gave away a ball early doors that almost led to a goal. So, yeah, I wasn't particularly impressed. I mean, he made a few nice passes, crossfield balls, but yeah, I wasn't massively impressed.
Nathan?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, but that is what Trent is, isn't it? He's a risk taker. And obviously when he's in midfield, he'll get on the ball more. So we'll probably see maybe the failed passes a bit more. But when he does play a spectacular pass and it comes off, it's such a useful asset for England.
We did obviously also, actually, let's just go straight to Jarrod Bowen. He also commented just there. How good was he when he came on?
Yeah, it was an electric start, wasn't it? Literally with his first touch, he puts a lovely ball into Harry Kane, who heads it, and a great save from the keeper, which touched onto the crossbar. And he had a good little impact. I mean, that creates some sort of competition for Bukayo Saka in the England team, which is, of course, good. But Saka also had a phenomenal first half. So,
Jarrod Bowen looked really, really electric when he came on. And so we've now touched on how good Saka was yesterday, Bellingham, and Bowen when he comes on as well. One, more negative note, not to be British here, was Phil Foden, Premier League Player of the Season. But he was very meh yesterday. Why is that?
No, he seemed a bit isolated on the left wing, and obviously, with Jude Bellingham and Saka, they all like to cut in. So, but it's about giving him the ball when he does do something good in the game early on, to give him confidence and keep on getting him on the ball, because I don't think we did that enough. But I saw Cesc Fabregas say as well that, like, yesterday after the game, he also needs to show for it himself. He can't just wait for the ball, and yeah, he also needs to do more. But yeah, it just give him more chances to show what he can do.
Freddie, how's the poll looking? I know it's early in the show, but have we got enough responses in?
Yeah, we do. So it's currently 57% in favour of yes, he should start against Denmark, and 43% no. So you can tell that the people voting there are split. It's very close.
Do you not think Anthony Gordon deserves a bit of a shout? He offers something different.
Yeah, I think so. He's obviously very direct, Anthony Gordon. A lot more pace than Phil Foden. I think England lacked that yesterday. They could have done with a bit more pace, and I think that would be beneficial potentially in the next game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because all the players like the ball to the feet. Gordon is willing to run in behind, and that offers something different. We see Kane perform quite well when there's a player running in behind. He can find those passes, so it all adds something different to England's team. But I do think Foden should be continue to start. It'll knock his confidence massively if he has to drop to the bench, I think.
We will also touch on the England defence in just a moment. But before we do, Cole Palmer didn't get a look in yesterday. Not a single minute. 33 goals and assists for Chelsea in the Premier League this season. Surely he deserves some minutes somehow. How'd you fit him in?
Yeah, well, it depends whether you play him in through the middle role, which seems to be difficult to fit him in there with Bellingham and Foden, or potentially on the right. But he played through the middle a lot more for Chelsea this season, I believe. So, yeah, it's going to be a struggle to fit him in. I don't know whether you think you could play him on the left, and that could be an option. But
yeah, can he replace Foden?
Yeah. I don't think so. No, I don't. I think he's probably better on the right and centre. But it's good to have so many options off the bench. But also, with Southgate, I think it was the last Euros. Bellingham didn't start all of them, and there was a lot of pressure on him to start them. And now he's become a vital part for England. So Southgate's quite good at kind of managing the young players and not putting too much pressure on them early on, and expecting them to deliver.
We've spoken quite a bit about England's forward forces, but Jerry was in the mix zone after the game last night and spoke to Kieran Trippier.
Important as well, wasn't it? Because there had been question marks about England's defence.
Clean sheets are massive as you look throughout the winners of tournaments. Clean sheets are a massive factor, and we talk about that a lot. Defend our box well, and certainly tonight we had to defend the crosses because they put some dangerous balls in the box. And you look at the last tournament as well. I think we had the most clean sheets, and that can take you far. So the most important thing is don't concede, and you see the quality that we've got on the other end to score goals.
Haters have partnered with SofaScore, one of the best apps around for your in-game football stats and just football in general. Highly recommend that you download. And they actually had this stat, which did really reiterate how boring the game was. But it broke the record for the fewest shots in a Euro match ever. In the top 5 matches with the fewest shots, England are responsible for 3 of them. So we beat Serbia last night with 11 shots in total. You go back to a game with 12, Czech Republic at the last Euros, and then with 14 was also England beating Germany at the last Euros as well. The one thing I will say that all of those games have in common, they're all England, they're all Gareth Southgate, and they're all a win. Do you need to play a bit more exciting football, or is it just about, defending and hoping that you score one?
I believe it definitely needs to be a bit more exciting with the attacking quality that you have on the pitch. I mean, the second half yesterday was not really acceptable from an England point of view, the way that they sat back and just allowed Serbia to come at them. And, you're taking a gamble there because Serbia could easily score a screamer from outside the box or put a good ball into the box and get a goal easily and make that a 1-1 game. So I think they definitely need to be on the front foot more than they were yesterday.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think probably against a better side who have more maybe creative players in the midfield, they'd struggle with dropping back even more because they can get unpicked. But it is about building into the tournament, and winning your first game is always a difficult challenge because if they do that, then expectations and comments and negativity would be higher than it usually is around England as well.
I personally think Southgate gets a little bit too much stick. I mean, you think of some of the best managers of all time. Mourinho comes to mind straight away. His sides play boring football. His sides win. Why does Southgate get so much abuse for playing boring football when they get results?
Because currently he hasn't won. Really, he hasn't won anything of major note so far. So I think that the boring football for England fans is frustrating when it's not leading to a trophy at the end of it. So maybe the England fans will relax if they end up winning this Euros.
And we saw yesterday on the SofaScore stats how many goals the attackers have scored. When you have such creativity up front, you want to see them unleashed. Maybe if we didn't have that attacking options, okay, fair enough. But we do, and we all want to see fun attacking football from our teams and our countries.
We did hear from Gareth Southgate himself after the game.
First half, we used the ball really well. Had control of the game. Probably should have scored a second. I think second half we expended a lot of energy in the first half, and a lot of the players haven't had a 90 minutes for a while, so I was worried about us energy-wise, how we would be, and I thought that showed a little bit. Also, then we didn't keep the ball quite as well, and of course then Serbia have to come because they need the goal. So less control, still had an excellent chance towards the end, but pleased that we had to show a different side, that we had to show that resilience to defend our box, because I think as a group that really builds a huge spirit.
So let's see if there are any comments coming through in the chat box.
Yeah, so we've had Hafizu saying France will win the Euro 2024. So that's an early claim. That's a bold prediction, but I think a lot of people would potentially agree. And then we've had NI say love a clean sheet. So they clearly enjoyed the England game yesterday with that very, very compact and fairly simple clean sheet, to be honest.
We spoke about Jordan Pickford yesterday. England, defensively, it was quite a good, solid unit. We had Trippier out of position, Gahey coming in and slotting into a team that he's not really played in much. Who was your stand-up performer at the back, or was it just a cohesive unit of brilliance? Brilliance is, maybe I'm being a little bit biased, but still.
I think it was a very cohesive unit, to be honest. I think all of them looked pretty good. Kieran Trippier was good. He played some nice balls, nice passing. But yeah, I don't think Serbia ever really caused too much trouble to that England defence. I don't really remember Jordan Pickford having to make a proper save. So I think they did well to stay compact. Yeah,
Nathan, in the next game, if Luke Shaw's back from injury, does he replace Kieran Trippier for you?
Yeah, I think so. Just because it adds width, which is important, especially when Foden likes to cut in if he's playing. So having that option always available on the left side will be important. But I also thought Gahey was quite good yesterday, especially on the ball. He's a really composed passer.
Please do get the rest of your comments coming in and we can come back to them later. But there were other matches yesterday, one of which obviously massively concerned us. That was Denmark versus Slovenia. Were you surprised with the 1-1 draw, Nathan?
Yeah, well, especially watching. I thought, Denmark had a couple of chances, and then obviously Slovenia nicked it. But yeah, I think Denmark would definitely be disappointed with the 1-1 draw. But yeah, it leaves it an exciting position for the rest of the tournament in the group.
And Freddie, there was one moment that maybe it's the moment of the tournament already. Christian Eriksen. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful moment, wasn't it? 3 years ago, he was having a cardiac arrest at the Euros. And then in his first game back at the Euros, he's scoring the opening goal for Denmark. And it was a beautiful goal as well. He took it very well. He had an 8.7 rating on SofaScore. That was the best on the pitch out of all the players. It seems to be that football, these kind of tournaments, it's only football that brings those kind of moments. So it was lovely to see. And it wasn't just the goal that he did. He had 7 key passes, according to SofaScore. So he was an influential figure in the game. And I guess it's from a Danish fan's point of view, it's just a shame that they couldn't get the win and the 3 points there.
Stats galore from SofaScore. If you haven't downloaded SofaScore, then what are you doing? You're actually just a weirdo. This is how Group C looks after yesterday's action. England top the group, Denmark in second, Slovenia in third, and Serbia rock bottom. But it's actually fairly close. I mean, there's only a goal in it, really. And as we know, third place has a chance of going through, Nathan. So realistically, the plan is, if you're going to lose, concede as few as possible to give yourself a bigger chance. Who do you think is going to come through?
Exactly. Serbia are probably in quite a good position. I know they lost, but they probably faced on paper the toughest toughest team. So they'll probably be confident to get through. And then Slovenia and Denmark, they all have a shout, but England will definitely be happy. I think one more win will definitely secure it.
Yeah, I mean, on Thursday, England travelled to Frankfurt, the stadium where Bukayo Saka scored his first ever professional goal. But he'll be looking forward to going back there. Much earlier in the day, the Netherlands came from behind to beat Poland. And haters were at Ronald Koeman's press conference after the game.
Increase our confidence today. We know because we take also risk to press high, to play 1 against 1 in like the 2 center backs, Virgil van Dijk and Stefan de Vrij today. And that's difficult because maybe they were not the fast strikers of Poland, but they defending well. We did not defending well the corner kick, but it was a good defense. And we know that we have really good center backs, good left, right, full backs, and we have still really good ones on the bench, and that's maybe the lineup that's less worried feeling for the coach.
So, boys, did the Netherlands impress you yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. They dominated the game in points, but Poland came out in the second half and made a very good game of it. And they did well to come back from an early goal for Poland. So yeah, they impressed me.
Should they be a little bit more rampant, though? They had quite a few chances that they could have tucked away.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you'd back the couple of players they have to score those sort of goals. But yeah, Weghorst doing it again for Netherlands. He loves playing for the Netherlands.
Koeman is speaking about the defence there. How good is that back line? Is it the best of the tournament?
Yeah, I think their backup one would also be pretty good as well. De Ligt, Van der Ven, Frimpong, and even Daley Blind can play left back. That's the backup one, and the one that started with Van Dijk and De Vrij. It's incredible the options they have.
It's kind of crazy not playing Van der Ven. Spurs fans telling me the whole season he's the best centre back in the world, alongside Christian Romero. Nathan Aké playing out of position. Well, really, he's playing at left back. Got 2 assists yesterday. Does he not get enough credit?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's one of those players that just goes about his business very, very well each game, and doesn't maybe get the credit that he deserves. He's also had a great season at City, and then comes into this tournament and helps Netherlands to the win, is the key player in that win. So yeah, he deserves the credit, and maybe we should give him more credit.
Well, the Dutch defence is obviously fantastic, but Cody Gakpo believes the Polish defence was also pretty decent.
On the win, how do you rate the performance of Poland's defense? I think they performed very well.
You answered my question already. Yeah, what you said is right. I think Poland is a very, very good team. They showed that again today. They defended very well. In some moments, they even attacked very well Had some good opportunities, stopped us in some good opportunities. So yeah, to rate the defense, yeah, they did their job, but luckily we scored one more than them.
Cody Gakpo, he's an interesting player. Scored a deflected goal yesterday. Didn't quite light up the Liverpool team like people thought he might. Do you think this is like a tournament where he could shine and show his worth?
Yeah, well, he's shone in the World Cup, and that's kind of where the value that Liverpool paid for him came from, I guess. But I think he struggled with Liverpool in terms of finding where he fits into that team. They've got such great attacking options on the left, Diaz, Jota. Then they brought in Szoboszlai and McAllister, and then on the right, obviously Mo Salah, Nunes up top. So they haven't really worked out where he best fits in that team, and maybe them watching him play for the Netherlands might help them make that decision and might give him a bit more confidence going into next season.
Do you think he should play more for Liverpool next season? Do you think he'll impress more next year?
Yeah, I think so as well. Maybe, Arne Slot, he knows the Dutch league. He's obviously Dutch, and maybe, he'll feel more comfortable playing under him, and he'll know he's managed him, not managed him. He's worked against him, so he'll know his best strengths as well. But I think Gakpo, he works well with a kind of a target man, or not a bigger, more natural number 9, which Liverpool don't really have.
And boys, I'm going to put you on the spot. Netherlands, where are they going to come in this Euros? Semi-finals, finals, quarters?
I'm going to go quarters max.
Yeah, quarters max, I think, yeah.
Fair. On to today's matches. We start with Ukraine versus Romania, and Haters Rodrigo Lara is out there in Germany. I can't wait for this.
Thank you, Aaron. We are back in Munich. As you can see, we are in the heart of the city. This is Marienplatz. This is where normally Bayern Munich celebrate all their Bundesliga titles, in this place, in this location. And today is a big party between Romania and Ukraine. Today, both nations will play in the Allianz Arena. And this is a little bit the atmosphere and the party here, live in Munich. We are here with some Ukrainian fans, so tell me, how do you feel for you to be playing again in the European Championship representing Ukraine?
That feels amazing, and actually we are proud of our team, and we support them with all our heart, with our passion, and we believe at least semi-final, at least.
Wow, who do you think is the best player for the team right now?
We have all team, we're a very strong team, so the point is that all team is playing solid together, so that's why actually we believe that as a team we are not about individuality, we're about the solid team.
What about Zinchenko, big player for the Premier League, for the Arsenal?
Right, Zinchenko. Dovbyk is the best top scorer of La Liga, so it's also a very, very strong person on the field. Zinchenko, Mikolenko, we have most of players playing in the top league, so that's...
Your score prediction?
2-0.
Here with Romanian fans, tell me, how do you feel ahead of this game?
Well, it's incredible. We've been out of the European Championships for like 8 years, and now we get the chance to be back here, and that's great. We can't wait.
Woo. And now tell me, the best player for Romania.
The best player for Romania, Radu Dragushin from Tottenham. He's our Romanian wall. The best.
Your score prediction?
What, sorry?
Your score prediction?
2-0 for Romania. 2-0.
Wonderful. Thank you. Enjoy the match. Well, Alan, this is a little bit the atmosphere here in the heart of Munich. Back with you in the studio.
Thank you, Rodrigo. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be like that. No offense to you, boys, but I wish I was out there.
Yeah.
And he's done all of your work for you. You don't have to do your research on Romania or Ukraine. The one player we really know about is Mykhailo Mudryk. SofaScore have obviously given us the stats throughout the tournament. In 2023, Mudryk became the most expensive Ukrainian player of all time when he moved to Chelsea for a fee of 88.5 million. Arsenal obviously really wanted him around that time. Chelsea got their man. He hasn't lit up in the way that maybe some were expecting. You've seen quite a lot of him, Nathan. What do you think?
Yeah, he's been inconsistent to say the least, but when he's on it, he's exciting. I mean, his first ever little cameo for Chelsea was against Liverpool, and he excited then, and he's done it this season at times. He scored against Arsenal, whether it was a cross or a shot, but he's done a lot of
a cross.
But he has moments like that, and with international football being maybe a bit more open than the Premier League, he could excel in that sort of environment, and hopefully he shows himself for the price Chelsea have paid for them.
Is he the man you're expecting to light Euro 2024 up?
I do think he'll have a good Euros, but then they've also got Yarmolenko. Ukraine have scored 8 goals in the Euros in their history, and he's been involved in 5 of them. So he's clearly going to be a key man for them, and has been historically in the Euros for them.
Fair enough. What's your score prediction, boys?
I'm actually going to back Ukraine 3-1 in this.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Ukraine.
Okay, I want to go up against you. I actually think Ukraine are going to win as well, but just for argument's sake, I'm going to go 1-0 Romania. At 5 o'clock, Belgium are in action. Are they past their prime, this Belgium team?
I think the golden generation has somewhat dwindled. Eden Hazard was obviously part of that, Vertonghen, Alderweireld. So it has depleted, but they're still a very, very strong team. Players like Lukaku, Trossard, De Bruyne, and then Jeremy Doku as well, who's I think is going to be a major threat for them. I mean, when I see him play for City, the pace that he has, his dribbling ability is pretty frightening.
What do you think, Nathan? Who's the man to watch out for?
Yeah, I think Doku, whenever you watch him, he's really exciting. They lost Hazard, who was a great dribbler, and they've now got another one who's maybe just as good at dribbling. He's crazy. He's I wouldn't want to be a defender up against him. And he links up quite well with Lukaku at the national team as well. So, I mean, they're maybe not past they are past their golden era, but they've still got great players who can help them through.
We have our SofaScore stats available for Romelu Lukaku. I can't believe he's not your danger man. He's an absolute monster. 115 matches for Belgium, 85 goals and 17 assists. He's a nuisance. He's massive. He scores. He's so much trouble. Is he a little bit disrespected? Look at that record. You can't tell me that he's not a quality player when you've got that amount of goals for the national team.
Yeah, that record actually shocked me when SofaScore sent that through. The amount of goals there is pretty remarkable. I guess in a lot of people's minds, there's those very easy missed chances that he's had in previous tournaments, but then he's also scoring a hell of a lot of goals. So yeah, he's a dangerous man.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, with the 3 behind him, De Bruyne, Doku and Trossard, he's going to be getting chances galore. And hopefully when he does score, he does a better celebration than that.
It looks like he's about to sneeze.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so as the Euros fantasy is working this year, I've captained Kai Havertz. He got a goal and an assist. And the big debate for me this morning is, do I switch my captain over to Lukaku? Do you think he can get a better return than a goal and assist? Playing Slovakia, you'd expect something easy for Belgium.
He could, but I will also just say that Slovakia had a great qualifying campaign. They had the best in their history, won 7 games, only losing to Portugal. So they're a proper team, and this might not be as much of a walkover as some people would think for Belgium. I think they'll be a tough task.
What's your prediction then?
I'm going to go 2-1 to Belgium.
Oh, very close.
I'm going to go 3-0 Belgium.
I'm going to agree with 3-0 Belgium because you look at, you talk about Slovakia's qualifying campaign, and I agree with you. I think qualifying shows that whether a side has potential.
Yeah.
But then you look at Scotland, they're fantastic in qualifying, and oh my goodness, they were terrible against Germany. I just think Belgium have quality. It's a very easy group for Belgium on paper. I'm going 3-0.
I think Belgium will actually be a kind of surprise package. I think they'll be a lot better than what a lot of people expect. I know everyone thinks they've probably fallen off a bit, but I think they will be quite good this year.
The final game of the day sees one of the favourites, France, begin their Euro 2024 journey in Dusseldorf. If you are watching from Azerbaijan, you might remember this stadium. It's where you won Eurovision in 2011. You can't really talk about France. So irrelevant, I don't care. You can't really talk about France without talking about Kylian Mbappe. We've got his stats from SofaScore. 79 matches for the national team. 47 goals, 33 assists. He's 3rd on their all-time leading goal-scoring charts, trailing behind Olivier Giroud, who's leading, and Thierry Henry. I mean, there's an Arsenal theme there, Mbappe to Arsenal. Illuminati confirmed. Giroud is the leading goal scorer. I don't think he's going to get as many goals this tournament as Mbappe will. Do you think Mbappe has a chance of getting 10? They've got 7 games up for grabs.
He definitely does. He has that potential in him. It will be tough, but he definitely could do that. Yeah.
Maybe Giroud will get 10. Who knows? But and I think Mbappe, yeah, he's a superstar and he's the best player in the world. And even if he doesn't score, he creates and he just causes problems. You know, he takes 2 defenders away. And along with Giroud, they also have Griezmann as well, who's scored bucketfuls of goals for France as well. They've got threats from everywhere.
Nathan's saying Kylian Mbappe, best player in the world. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, there's a few up there challenging with him, but yeah, no, he's got to be.
Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Junior.
They're up there for this year.
The Ballon d'Or race is just going to be. It's just going to be all between Real Madrid.
Yeah,
it's going to be horrible next season.
Yeah,
surely they win the Champions League once again. What's your score prediction for France versus Austria today?
3-0 France.
I actually think Austria might. I've said a lot of surprises. I think Austria might surprise as well. I think Ralf Rangnick is important. He's kind of changed the scene of the Austrian national team. They're a lot more exciting team to watch. And even though they don't have Alaba playing, he's in there as a coaching kind of role. And it's a camaraderie of a side. And I think 2-1 Austria.
That is an outrageous prediction. If you're right, fair play. Absolutely fair play, but I think you're nuts. Surely France is going to win. Freddie, are there any comments coming through?
Yeah, well, just one from Nee saying Aaron, Nathan, Freddie better than Lineker, Ferdinand, and Richards. It's high praise to support the show. Nee, please download the SofaScore app in the top left. That would be much appreciated. But I think you might be wrong.
Which one's which?
I think I'm better than Lineker. I'll take that. Match of the day. Call me up. Fine. So we've gone for one of you saying France is going to lose. One of you saying France is going to win. One of you is right. And one of you is very, very, very wrong. I'm agreeing with you. France is going to win. It's going to be an absolute walkover, 4-0. And we'll laugh at you tomorrow morning.
I won't be back on if they do.
Absolutely not. On to the next section of the show where we talk about all the transfer news going on at the moment. The first one, Nathan, is John Duran to Chelsea. Did you watch much of him for Villa?
Yeah, he's an exciting player. He only made 5 starts across the whole competition, whole season, but he scored 6 goals. And yeah, he's an exciting player. He kind of makes things happen when he comes on. He's exciting to watch. But I just don't know if Chelsea need another young striker. We've got Jackson, who towards the end really impressed. So it's interesting if he does come in, how those two will work.
Yeah, and Freddie, the big news today, if you're a European football fan, this was absolutely nuts, was Kvaratskhelia, who we will get a view at tomorrow as he plays for Georgia. His dad said he wants to leave Napoli. Napoli then released a statement. How good is he? Have you seen much of him? Where do you think he'll go? What's going to happen?
Yeah. Well, I've seen bits of him, and he's a very dangerous player, and we'll see more of him this Euros for Georgia. But yeah, I mean, not a good time for his dad to come out and say that. Pretty wild to do that when you're about to get underway with your Euros campaign, and then pretty quick from Napoli to say no, he's under contract till 2027. We'll decide when our players leave. So I actually don't think he'll go anywhere. I think they're going to keep hold of him. He's under contract, so there's not much he can do about it.
Players and their families these days, they need to learn to just shush, just be quiet. Again, talking about my favourite subject, Arsenal, if we're not talking about England, yesterday made me think. We saw Sesko with just creating chances out of nothing. He just gets the ball, bang, hits the post or whatever. We then saw Vlahovic with something very similar. Those are 2 strikers that Arsenal have been linked with in the past. Sesko will not be coming to Arsenal this summer. Vlahovic, the door's open. It might happen at some point in the future. If you are Mikel Arteta, are you signing a striker? And if so, who are you signing?
I'm definitely signing a striker. I'm upset about the Sesko renewed contract because I thought that would be the perfect move for Arsenal. Good price, young player with a lot of potential. Could have bettered him along with Kai Havertz for the year. But now, really, the main one that's out there is maybe Osimhen, but the price tag seems to be insane, and I don't think Arsenal will pay that. And then in the Premier League, maybe Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins. And I would be looking at signing one of those if I was Mikel Arteta, and you can get them for a reasonable price.
Do you think we'll see any of Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins at this Euros, Nathan?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Harry Kane didn't have his best performance yesterday, and especially maybe later on in the group, if we've if we've already confirmed that we're through, it'd be important to get those 2 minutes and experience that at a tournament in case we do need them later on in the knockouts.
Freddie, now out of complete curiosity, how are the polls looking?
The poll is saying that 56% are saying that Phil Foden should be starting against Denmark, and 44% are saying no.
He's dropped by 1% since I last asked.
Yeah. And there's been quite a few more votes come in. So it's a split debate.
I personally would like to see Anthony Gordon. I just think it would be really nice to see something fresh. If you can't fit Phil Foden into that team on the left, where it doesn't perform for England, and you need to play him in the centre, I just vote we scrap it. We've seen England in the past have had so many good players in the squads. You look at that golden generation where they actually had to put Scholes out left mid to accommodate for Gerrard and Lampard. And it didn't really work. England didn't win anything. So sometimes, even though you've got your best players playing all at the same time, you just have to make shift. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Thursday? Obviously, it's just on our minds now. Now the tournament's up and running. It's all on England. You excited for Thursday?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing really better than a Euros in England, and well, currently it hasn't been good weather, but when there is good weather, there's not much better than it. So yeah, of course, I'll be looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, it'll be good fun. I'm hopefully a bit better performance against Denmark, but it'll be a good game no matter what, even because Denmark obviously have their star players as well.
Anyway, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us on the Haters official Euro 2024 daily show. Reminder to download SofaScore because it is the greatest app for any football fan out there. We will see you tomorrow.